Yo, 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 what's up? It is me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea. And this evening, I am joined by somebody pretty familiar, my brother, Patrick.
You know,
Patty Ice, what's up?
you know,
Thanks
it,
for coming
it's
on. Thanks
it,
for coming on, man.
it it's great to be here. Do you have like a map or a paddle? Because guess what, we're lost at sea right now. We're lost. We're gonna find our way home.
Shit, and
Anyway,
it's so great to have you on here, man. Um, and just to we're
oh
gonna be
wait,
talking a little
hold on. A little lost at sea. My little sailor
shit.
hat.
And
Sailor hat.
those, you guys, if you're watching now, you can get those at in the Discord. You can check that out in the Discord.
Yeah. Just ask my girlfriend. Can you please make me
um,
a hat?
so new hat merch is coming out soon. We'll get that on. We'll get the orders in. But we are here.
We're just doing brothers talking Big Brother.
Just brothers talking Big Brother. We're gonna. Me and Pat have been watching. Pat, how long have we been watching Big Brother for?
I think the first season we cohesively watched was when Hayden won, and I think that was BB12.
Yeah, I think BB12. And that's
Yeah,
where I picked the winner, or you picked the winner. You picked Hayden. I picked Nick.
yeah, yeah,
Famously, he was the guy that lied about his girlfriend having, I think, cancer. So
yeah. Not a great move.
he lost. He lost.
The game's changed definitely from then.
Game's
Just a
definitely
wild
changed.
move, but it's
Um,
still it's still crazy.
it's crazy. And we're going to be talking about this first week here. Me and Pat, we definitely had a little conversation earlier in the week about everything that was happening. So let's just get into it. Pat, I know that you have some sort of theory, conspiracy
I
theory, I guess we could say.
I have a huge conspiracy theory.
So
I
just
I
lay it
think it's
out for
all
us.
little okay. Well, do you wanna like recap the week, kind of like
So I feel like people know what happened.
yeah.
Daniel, again, this we probably will butcher some names here.
I
Still
I
getting to
have
know
a
everybody.
I have a list up, and I'm gonna be searching through if I can't think of the name and or the put a face to the name. So I have a list here that I'm going through. That's if I'm looking over here. That's what I'm doing.
So Daniel, right, wins the
Yeah,
the HOH. He puts up he
Michael
put
and Terrence.
Michael and Terrence POV and wins the POV, and then Taylor
Michael win.
obviously
Michael wins. POV
takes himself down.
with the takes himself down, and in an all-time weird like nomination or POV meeting, he just puts up Taylor and
So let's
just
talk about that. Let's dive in there, right? The
well,
meeting, the basically you
yeah,
might want to apologize to people. Like this is your chance to apologize. Like weird
out of
wording, right?
nowhere. Well, it also, I think it all like it was so weird how fast Paloma just put everybody against Taylor. Like I think one of the first episodes, she's just playing pool with the guys, and it just cuts to Paloma in the diary room, like, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. She's and then they form that alliance. She's like the head of this alliance called the Girls, which it's just like flat out bullying. It's like we're just not going to include you into
Yeah,
this
I
all girls
think they have
alliance.
all the girls in there except for Taylor and
And
the girl that's
well,
friends with Daniel. Nicole, I think
yeah,
her name is.
she's a cop, I think.
So
So it's like
pretty exclusive there.
yeah, it's like, and then it's all Paloma. She'd be like, well, she's just not a girl's girl. It's like, why? Because you didn't give her a chance to be like she. And I get it. Like I don't know. It was just like really weird. Like this whole alliance, and then they go. I think it was before the POV. Uh, Taylor gets into a room with Paloma and what's the other girl's name?
Alyssa, her like best friend.
Alyssa, yeah. And then I think another like Brittany too is like they're all in there, and Jasmine, and Paloma says to her like, I don't know, those four. She says we gotta like split them up. She says split them up. Paloma said that. Quote it. Says, yeah, we just gotta split them up. I wish she does this thing where she goes, I wish somebody who was really close to them would like kind of spy on them. And Taylor's just like, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I don't. Can I swear? I don't want to.
Yeah, you could let it out. Like,
okay. No, yeah. But so they look towards Taylor, or Paloma's like, yeah, Taylor, I wish we had somebody who would like, spy on the boys. And it cuts to, I love it. It cuts to Taylor. She goes, I think it's kind of early to be doing these like gender, like, I don't think it's that deep. And so Taylor goes into the bathroom and Monty's like, hey, like, what's going on? And granted, maybe this isn't a.
What do you think about what do you think about Monty just kind of like immediately selling Taylor out there?
That I feel like everybody's so quick to, because it happens again with Brittany. The like girl with the eyes, he's like, yeah, I guess all the time. Like she got sold down the river like immediately. There is no like, let me just hold on to this information. Let me not like go running to, because I guess it's so early. People are trying to build connections, and the only way they think they can do that is just selling another person out. But so Monty immediately sells out Taylor, and then. But it wasn't even that big. Like Taylor's like, yeah, well, the Paloma's kind of worried about you guys, and then Monty's like, what? Well, the fuck are you talking about? And it turns into this huge thing, and it's just like Paloma's like, I'm trying to get a slave, and they're like, no, we gotta talk to you. Well, yeah, that turned out to be, but
that scene's so cringy. It's like
why?
It's like, why are you lying? Like, you're lying, number one, and you could just be lying better, like, and not as much, and it would be better for you. But she chooses not to.
Yeah, and so it's this whole fiasco, and literally Taylor doesn't even know what's happening, and they're pulling Paloma aside.
Am I being rude? Am I being rude? Yeah.
Well, Also, this is before that. This is even before that. Like they pull Paloma aside, like everybody in her alliance, and Monty pulls her aside. She goes, "She's a fucking bitch. Like I can't work. She's a snake. I can't work with her. She like sold me out." And it was like, no, she didn't. She just told the truth. And she's like, I never fucking said that. I never said we should go after the boys. And then I love it because as she says, I never said we should go after the boys. Big Brother just plays like a recap of hers being like, yeah, we should split up the boys. And then right back to her, like, I never said that. And it's so funny. And so everybody like, and then she goes up to Daniel and she's like, dude, you can't fucking trust her. She's trying to ruin my game. And like, it turns into, so everybody collectively now, except for, what's her name?
Nicole, his friend.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes, is the only person in the house who's like,
she's like, I don't know if that's really true.
Yeah, like I feel like this is like not that, and it's so early. So then Michael wins POV, and
King,
King, because he
got a raw deal.
He got a real raw deal, and then.
The basis of his nomination, right, for just Michael is basically, he's the other super fan. I need to nominate him. And what do you think about that? Like, obviously, Daniel's talking about how he's a super fan, and he puts up Michael just because he's the other super fan. Why not just kind of be super fans together and work together?
Yeah.
Do you think it was smart for him to just go after Michael right as soon as he could?
I don't think so. I think, it's weird because it's so early and like, I don't watch the live feeds, but like, I'm not like super aware of like what relationships are forming, but you would think that because Daniel says, he goes, everybody's been like, I just want to talk game with somebody. I just want to talk, like, I want to talk game. And then this, like, Michael comes in and goes, hey, I don't want to talk too much. He's in the diary room. He's like, I don't want to talk too much game. I'm a super fan, And then it goes up to Daniel and goes, listen, I think we can work together. I love this game. And Daniel immediately it's like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? like what?
The contradiction is so bad.
It's happening so much, and I don't know, like if I'm just picking up on it, or it's like I'm sure you are too. Like everybody's just like so. You say one thing, and then you do a complete like 180.
And then who was the other guy that was nominated? What's his name?
Terrence.
So Terrence, like, I haven't seen a confessional from Terrence at all. And the only, like, at the end, all we get is like, yeah, I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk to him. I just wanted to play it cool. And dude, how many times are they going to reference that he's a DJ that's on a bus?
Yes, I was hoping you'd bring that up. He goes, DJ Terrence has got to spin his way out of this. It's like you're on the block.
Is that all the dude's got?
Yeah, he's like, I'm from Chicago and I love DJing. It's like every time he comes on screen, there's a record scratch. It's like, what the fuck? I love that.
He's like, obviously up there as a pawn.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know if he knows what the name of the game is.
Place marker here.
Yeah. I love that in these diary rooms, they're clearly just giving him lines, and he's just like, I'm funky fresh. And it's just like this whole big dilemma is going on, and Terrence is like, what? It's like, let's see what thought-provoking
he's
Terrence
like the character of the character that they want him to be.
Exactly. Like they built these like, oh, you're old and as soon as he was like, oh, I drive a bus, and they're like, I don't know, you do anything interesting? Do you do anything? He's like, well, I DJ once. He's like, DJ, you're a DJ now. That's all you are. You're a DJ. And we're gonna harp on. And what's also funny? Another way, we'll get back to the craziness, but another thing that I've noticed is, what is his name?
Another one.
Not Pooch. I kind of like Pooch. Kyle.
I call him Mooch. Pooch?
Mooch the Pooch.
I like him.
Kyle, the Mormon kid.
Yeah, unemployed Kyle. He's so high energy. He
goes, I like making TikToks with my mom. And every single, like, even in the background, he's like dancing all the time. He's just dancing. He's just doing like he's like twerking and shit. It's so funny because like that's him. He goes, I'm crazy Kyle, blah blah blah. And then even in the background of like stuff when they do like a panty shot, he's just like fucking whipping that shit back. It's like everybody's watching the POV and he's going like, it's so funny.
I love how they're like, these guys are like so committed to their like niche, their like character.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there is like, wait, hold on, real quick, time out.
So right now, you guys are looking into the Belvedere house.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. This is the home of. Go for it, Pat.
You're gonna have to cut this because I'm about to blow my nose.
Funny thing is, the listeners are going to hear that.
All right, cool. All right, sorry. Anyway, but these guys.
Side section. Pat sneezing.
Me just making allergies are bad. Pollen's up. But yeah, everybody's so committed to and I guess it's just because it was like the first week where it's just like.
Did you get the section where Alyssa was like, the happiest place on earth is was it Trenton, New Jersey? Or somewhere in New Jersey?
Newark, yeah.
Shout out New Jersey.
Shout out Jersey. And it's funny because I was just in Newark and I was like, there is no way this is the happiest place on earth.
Very sad.
I saw a homeless man eat garbage. Like that's not what you're thinking of. It's like
she confused Newark and Denmark, and she said those rhymed. I was like, no.
I don't
They
know.
end with K.
Yeah. Like that doesn't. I think we need DJ Terrence to like do us a lesson on what rhymes and what doesn't. Fucking, it's like, hey, can I sound the same? No, but no. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, and then just Daniel. So going back to Daniel's renom speech, like he could have just easily said,
sounded very
Taylor,
sinister.
and he didn't need to be. He just could have been like, even if he said, "Hey, Taylor," because he had the conversation with her before.
I wanted to ask you about that. The conversation before, like, bad. I mean, he's obviously like before she comes in, he's obviously going to be putting her on the block. Why not just give her the heads up? Why lie?
Yeah, and he does it in such a roundabout way where he's like, "Yeah, some people have been saying things," and she goes, "What?" And she's like
she wasn't gonna infer more.
Yeah, like he was like, that was a tough conversation. I was not ready for follow-up questions. But yeah, he could have just been like, hey, you're going up. He could have been totally honest. It's not his situation. Like everybody came to him and said, Taylor said this, did this. This is why she should go up. And Paloma's like, you have everybody in the house is with you. They're going to back you up. Okay. If I'm Daniel, fine. Like that's a perfect nugget of information. She comes up. Hey, am I going up? Yeah, the house wants you out for some reason. This is what I heard. He's not even involved in the situation. He could have easily just blamed it on that and then have Taylor go figure it out. That's not bad on Daniel. And then he goes up there and he goes, the house wants you out. Maybe you should apologize for shit. It's like, what do you could have just said Taylor, you don't have to give a reason. Like,
yeah, he might have the case of the old, like, he says something and then he just kind of starts continuing talking and then it doesn't sound great. And he felt maybe like he needed to make a speech there. But if you're going to make a speech, definitely rehearse it. If that was rehearsed.
Yeah. I was going to ask, so if you're in his position and you the house wants Taylor, what do you say when you renom her? Or when you put her out?
I would just, if I were in his position and I had to make like a brief statement, I would say, my renom is Taylor. Obviously, it's been brought to light that a lot of people, want you up on the block. So I'm just doing what the house wants and it'll be the best for my game. Something along those lines. Keep the house happy. Insert words, the basic words there. You can go figure this out and apologize. Like, why am I apologizing?
You've heard everyone here. Yeah. I love that. If you put that's so Big Brother or like Survivor where you're like, it's just what's best for my game. Like at the end of anything, that's kind of like
we didn't have the numbers.
Yeah. I love those like little like that's what's best for my game, or it's
no blood on my hands.
No blood on my hands. That's what's best for my game. Those are kind of like when you give somebody advice and you're like, but you give them like exactly what you think, and just to save your own ass, you're like, yeah, but I don't know, do what you want. That's like that. It's like you're going up, but that's what's best for my game. Personally.
That's like the save my ass notes, like at the end. Like,
yeah.
Cover my ass. Okay, so that being said, Taylor's nominated. And then this last episode, we get this.
Yeah. But I will ask you at the, yeah. What it is the next episode. So what was your reaction to, Taylor audibly doesn't know what's going on, crying, and then Paloma just going up and being like, hey, I'm here for you. like
that one, watching that was so it was like a scene straight out of like Mean Girls for me. I was like, dude, why are you so like, just go to bed. Like, no. Like she so stabbed her in the back and then she twisted the knife. Like,
Oh, it
it's
was
like
like hard to watch.
you're in a football game or in a basketball game, you shoot the three and you're up 59-0 or something, and you're just dancing on their graves at that point. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but yeah, that conversation with Taylor and Paloma, like afterwards, where she's like, she had caught wind that, Paloma had brought it up to Monty and she went back to her. That conversation, is that in this last episode?
Yeah. It's like,
Where she's like, I'm
even
tired.
worse.
I don't really want to listen to this right now. She's like, is that rude of me to say?
Dude.
Yeah,
you're
being kind of rude.
And I will say, like, this is probably like the most entertaining week of like probably one of the most memorable weeks of Big Brother, because you have the controversy on Twitter, and you have like, all this stuff that's going, and so that alone is making it like fun to watch.
Yeah.
But holy shit, this is like, it's some of it's
cringe.
hard to watch. So cringe. Like
it's giving me like vibes of, it's not along the same lines, but like it's the same, like along the lines, like watching wise, of like Frenchie from last season, that like his terrible reign. And but it's like she wasn't week. Even in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like if Frenchie,
but Frenchie, it's Paloma who is in this backstage twist that has no vote, can't compete, and might be going home.
Yeah, and she's got all the balls. She's got hella balls to just be like, she can't do anything, but she's like, we're gonna fucking crucify her. We're gonna, for playing pool with guys. Like, that's it. What did she do? She's pretty and she's playing pool with other guys. That's what's like that. Yeah, and then she's like, she's like, Pat, you should, like, the conversation right after where like Paloma's crying with her and being like, you just shouldn't have told people you were a beauty queen. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And
you want me to lie about my life?
Life? Like, I would get like, some people are like, yeah, I'm a cop. I don't want people to know that. I'm a pageant queen. What does that matter? Oh, I guess I'm good at getting answers, but like that's what that was so painful to watch. And she's just like there with her. She's like, and then it goes to the diary room. And she's like, you know what? I kind of feel bad, but her fate is sealed. She's going home. I was like, what the fuck? You can't do that. You can't cry and then be like, well, she is going home. But that's what happened. It's unfortunate, but I just bullied this girl all week. And,
Yeah. And so.
And then that conversation with Taylor trying to clear this up. And am I being rude? I don't want, listen, it doesn't even matter what you say. She literally said, it doesn't matter what you say. I don't want to hear it. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Like, in the off chance that Taylor stays in the game, like, there's no way Taylor's working with you now at this point.
Yeah.
And
you feel bad because it's so much at Taylor. Like, how do you even, like, you see the scene of her like breaking down, and it's like, yeah, like all this is happening, and this is all within the span of like a few days.
Yeah,
it's like, it's so much.
And she was virtually blindsided. So, I mean,
yeah,
a lot coming out of Taylor quickly, but the week progresses and we get these scenes from Paloma, and she's not sleeping or eating, and now she ends up leaving the game due to mental health. So
yeah.
So what do you say? Like, I know that you have this theory. So
I have a conspiracy. If you want to add in like a little bell, like alert sound, conspiracy theory.
I'll link to that right here.
Right there, right here. I'm going to start by saying this is a conspiracy. This is just a theory. Now, I don't know what it's like to play Big Brother. Mental health is a huge thing.
I'm not just meme islands. You played some.
Yeah, but doesn't really count. But
not equivalent.
Not equivalent. I've been on the block a few times. And I think mental health, it should be treated with anything. Like, I get that, And
Mm-hmm.
I hope that Paloma is doing well. And in all seriousness, it sucks. I can't imagine what she's going through. This is probably due to like, mental health. And I'm glad that she's, got herself out of that situation. But this is the conspiracy. This is what I like, just like as a viewer, this is what I was thinking. So as you know, as soon as Paloma starts like this whole crusade on Taylor, Twitter was on fire for like 2 or 3 days straight. Like it's like with the live feeds and some of the stuff they were saying to Taylor or about Taylor or to Taylor, Twitter was like going insane, being like Paloma's a psychopath. Like they were talking about microaggressions and them like microaggressions being thrown around, and like the like CBS's casting director was getting tagged and stuff. It was crazy, and all this stuff from the live feeds were coming out, and the winner's circle, the live feeds with Tiffany, they had Tiffany, Chada, and Azza. They talk about it too, of like what it's like to be not only a woman but a minority in the Big Brother house. You always have to deal with that. And it's a really good episode. And they talk about this situation. They kind of break it down too. But like it's going insane on Twitter. Like everybody's coming for Paloma. And so my conspiracy is, this is what I think happened. I think the outrage was so much, and because it's so early in the season, people are calling for CBS's casting director's head. Like, how do you not vet this person? They're clearly like, this is just straight bullying, kick her off the show. This is what I think happened. I think Big Brother brought Paloma in, was like, you're going. You are leaving the show because you cannot be like, we are getting torn to shreds on Twitter. You are leaving this house, but we don't want it to be bad for you, and we want to save our asses. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to go in that house, and you're going to talk about not being able to sleep or eat. You're going to talk about that. And then we're going to remove you from the game. You're going to voluntarily remove yourself from the game.
She took a dive.
You're taking the dive, and you're getting the fuck out of here. So because like all of a sudden, like in that episode, we see like out of nowhere, Paloma's like, yeah, I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. This is really tough, and cry. And I'm sure it is. And if that is the case, then get well, Paloma. That's what I'm saying. But conspiracy time. We're back in conspiracy time. Well, this comes out of nowhere, and I didn't watch the live feed, so maybe I'm wrong, but all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I'm not eating or sleeping. Like, I can't handle this. And then she's just gone. And then Daniel with the reading the card with Paloma and everybody having this kumbaya moment and be like, we hope she gets well. What the fuck? She just bullied the shit out of this girl for nonstop. And everybody's like,
I feel like maybe they're like, I don't know, maybe they're not aware of like how bad she was on her. Some people were, definitely.
Some people were, but maybe that is it. But so I think Big Brother was just like, you're gone. Like we can't, because it was like relentless. Some of the clips that were coming out, it's like torment. She's calling her a fucking bitch. Like it's like for nothing, for doing nothing. So like everybody on Twitter is like, fuck you, Paloma. You psychopath, like you're just bullying this girl. And so I think Big Brother took her in and was like, you're leaving, you're gone. But to save our ass, you are going to say it's too much and you're going to leave voluntarily. And I don't know, because it's like as a, I don't know, like you want somebody to stir the pot, but you don't want somebody to fucking torment another cast member, and maybe it is mental health, and maybe she just couldn't handle it, and she's, if that is the case, I'm sure she's,
I think maybe it could be a mix of both, and I think just, and I did not watch any of the feeds, and I'm not really in BB Twitter either, but I think that Paloma is one of those people that maybe is super like wants to be in control a lot, And,
Yeah.
with this twist that she was given right off the bat, she like obviously doesn't have any power. So she felt like she
Yeah.
needed to be in the mix. And she took
Yeah.
it way, way too much, like way too hard. And like she went in, and now like in like those like times where she's just thinking about everything that's happening, she's like in her head about it, and like maybe she actually like
Yeah.
can't fucking sleep and like it's actually like drawing on her. Like,
Yeah.
what if this
Yeah.
whole thing like collapses on me? I'm fucked in the game and maybe out of the game.
Yeah. That, because I think that could be it too, of just like the overcompensation of not, like, if she was not picked for the backstage, would this have happened?
Like if she's like,
I
if
don't
the
know.
backstage is like, all right, these 3 people are just safe. Like, does she like fucking go in?
Yeah.
Or does she take it
Yeah.
back seat?
But I don't know.
I think some people they just have to be in the mix at all times, and I think maybe she was one of them.
Yeah. And it's crazy how much one person can do with no power. Just like how quickly everybody was so like, oh yeah, well that's what happened. Like, okay. Like the only person that was like maybe a little bit hesitant on this whole thing was Nicole.
And that's why I think Nicole might be like my front runner to like win the game, because she's like seems somewhat aware of what's going on.
Yeah, she's the only one who's like, maybe let's not all
take everything at face value.
Salem witch trial. Like, oh, you're a witch. Okay, everybody go. She's a witch, clearly.
But in the end, it's awesome because, well, it's not awesome, obviously, because of everything. But Paloma leaves the game on her own terms. And we get a little twist. The DJ safe and Taylor safe.
Yeah, I think we should be Team Terrence. Like, I think your podcast.
Terrence is the cliche. He's going to be on the block like 13 or 14 times.
It's like, oh, an old guy? Okay, cool. He's just
this old guy's like, a little cool, though.
Yeah, he's spinning this shit. I want them. They should just get like this insane old, like because every old guy on Big Brother, or every old person, because there's the really old person that's clearly older than everybody. That's Terrence. It was Donnie. It was what was the dude's who always wore like a suit? I forget his name from. I think it was.
I remember him. He was the Boston guy.
Boston guy. Yeah. Like you always get these like really old guys, and then you got your dads and your moms, and then you got everybody else is like 25 and smoking hot, and then you have like 2 or 3 super fans. That's like the makeup of Big Brother. Let's get a few parents, let's get a really old person, and then everybody else is somebody's really young, and then the like 18, 19, and the rest are like 25 and like straight out of Hollister like magazine. But I want them to get like a jacked fucking old dude who's like a super athlete, because you don't see that. Like I've never seen that on Big Brother. Like a
powerhouse like competitor.
Yeah, but he's like 60,
and now he has to make like decisions for HOH.
Yeah, because you never saw Donnie in Power. There's no way Terrence is getting HOH. Like,
yeah, I don't know what competition is going to be in his wheelhouse this summer.
Dude, if there's like a get the party bumping competition, Terrence is getting it.
He might be in the top 6. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But we are coming to a close on this Zoom-free meeting. But I want to quickly, maybe we'll recap week 2. Sometimes next weekend. Maybe keep this like a thing that we do. Maybe get Logan in the mix. I don't know. But before we close out,
brothers talk Big Brother.
The brother chat, the Big Brothers. I don't know. We'll figure something out for that.
You're my big brother, so
literally management material. But we got about 2 minutes here. I want to ask you, Pat, having seen everything, and say my winner picks Nicole, and you can't pick Nicole. Who would you pick as your winner pick? First, who would you pick as your winner pick, and then who do you think is going to get eliminated next? And we haven't seen the Sunday episode, which is when we're filming this.
I'd like to see who's going next. That's tough. It's probably gonna be Terrence. I'm gonna guess Terrence, my boy, my dog, Terrence.
Dude, you sold him out just like that. That was quick.
Yeah, it's just like it's a sick dog.
There's not much there right now.
Yeah. I would say
Jesus,
either
sick
dog. Just put him down. Come on. So Terrence, I don't know about Matt, like long-haired Matt. I'm looking at him now. Michael saved. I'm digging Michael, and I also like Joseph, Michael, and what's her name? Where are you?
Nicole.
I like Nicole. I like Amira. She seems cool. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Joseph. I think Joseph is gonna go far. I haven't seen a lot of them, so he might be an asshole. So I might be shooting myself in the foot. But I like Joseph.
And with that, I think we have a good recap, a good analysis and commentary on the first week. But yeah, I think this meeting is going to shut off soon. Pat, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.